Hi guys, I'm back. Okay, so this week's read aloud is titled Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll, written by Mr. J and illustrated by Aaron Wozniak. Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll. It's a story about the power of friendship and the power of perseverance. Perseverance means never giving up, working hard to get something done and get it done right. Working hard, that's so important. Perseverance, never giving up. Okay, the Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll. And here we go. Over the lake and out past the bay was a green grassy hill where the rocks come to play. I bet you didn't know that all rocks play. They would race to the top to take in the view, then roll their way down the way rocks love to do. And there they all are, rolling down the hill. Oh, I see a rock there, just kind of looking. I wonder if that's Ricky hiding behind the bushes. There were Kip, Pip, and Chester, and Marvin the Boulder. Is Marvin the Boulder? He's the big rock. Ignatius played too, though he was much older. And a group called the Pebbles never ever sat still, zigzagging their way up and over the hill. There's Ignatius. There's Kip, there's Pip, there's Chester, there's Marvin the Boulder, there's the little Pebbles. Kai was a meteorite and not from this planet, and Maya was lava, but taken for granite. There's Kaya, there's Maya, there's Steve, what looks like Steve, Parker, and Ebert. Stu was the smart one. Parker the clown, and grumpy old Ebert rolled round with a frown. Gabby was sassy. Lisi had flair. Emma was giggly, and Hud had black hair. Here's Hud with the black hair. And here they are telling little jokes. Here's Parker the Rock saying, "How do you make a tissue dance?" I think you guys know this joke. And Ebert says, "Seriously? Like, come on, we know that joke. It's so old." And here's Lacey. She says, "You put a little boogie in it." A little dance. To make a dance, you put a little boogie in it. But the one trait that seemed to be shared by them all was that every rock there was shaped like a ball. And because they were round, they could easily roll through the grass, past the lake, up and over the knoll. Except for poor Ricky, who quietly sat. You see, Rick couldn't roll because his one side was flat. Yes, that's my phone. I'm not getting it. There he is with a little ladybug on him. He's flat. He can't roll. He's watching all his friends roll down the hill. How sad. His friends didn't get it. "Come roll," they would say. "Come on, Ricky, come roll with us." So Ricky tried, but he replied, "I'm sorry, I can't. One side is flat." But the rocks were determined. They were sure they could solve Ricky's flat-sided problem and help him revolve. So Marvin the Boulder, with his impressive physique, carried Rick all the way to the hill's grassy peak. Then he pushed him downhill, yelling, "Keep rolling, kid!" But Rock didn't roll. He just kind of slid. He just slid. And he's saying, "This feels like a bad idea." And the ladybug is still holding on to him. "This feels like a bad idea." He's not rolling. He's sliding. Well, the rocks weren't done. Not by a mile. Surely this next try would get Rick to smile. They stuck rubber balls all over Rick, using big globs of glue to get them all to stick. They were proud of themselves. "This will work," they said. These are all these friends trying to help him. "This will work." But Ricky still couldn't roll. Now he just sort of bounced. "No good, guys. No good," he's saying. "No good. He's just bouncing down." Well, they pushed and they pulled, trying every which way to get Rick to roll, but by the end of the day, nothing had worked, just like Rick expected, and he ended up feeling depressed and dejected. "It's no use," Ricky sighed. "There just isn't a way. So I'll sit off to the side and watch you all play. Don't worry about me. But his friends wouldn't quit. Perseverance, guys. We're here for you, brother, and we'll get you to roll one way or another. So they pondered and they thought, each straining his brain, till they looked up and they saw it was starting to rain. Just giving them an idea. And that's when it hit that smart stone named Stu. Eureka! He shouted, I know just what to do. So he explained to them how they would get Rick to tumble. My plan is pure genius. Stu wasn't too humble. My plan is pure genius. I know what to do. So they carried our hero down the road about a mile to the lake, where they gathered up mud they could pile on the flat side of Rick, creating a mound that they shaped, smoothed, and sculpted until it was round. Then after the rain, with the sun in the sky, they left him to bake till the mud was all dry. They gathered up vines and one colorful feather that they wrapped all around Rick to keep it together. So there's the big mud. There's like the mud batch on him that's hardened now, and they got some vines, and they're trying to keep that mud on. They put a little feather on him, and now he's round. Will he roll down that hill? When the last knot was tied and the work was all done, the only step left was for Rick to have fun. They stood back and watched, feeling nervous and tense, as Rick breathed in deep with increasing suspense. He moved slowly at first, testing out his new mold, and then, for the first time, Ricky the Rock rolled. So Bria, the ladybug, who'd been there from the start, felt a surge of pure joy swell up in her heart. She thought as she watched her friends play on the hill that there's always a way if there's always a will. There's always a way to figure things out if you're just willing to do it, if you have the will. She said to herself as Ricky rolled down the slope, when you're surrounded by love, you always have hope. So true. When you're surrounded by love, you always have hope. And Ricky was certainly surrounded by love and by friends who really cared about him and wanted to get him to roll. And they did it. They did it. And that is a great story of friendship also. Our theme for the year. So my friends, that is the story of Ricky the Rock that couldn't roll. All right, guys. I will see you soon. Have a great week. Be good.